This injury doesn't just appear out of nowhere.
Her skull is fractured. Her brain is swollen and bleeding. She's got an injury to her liver, her spleen, and her colon. Her belly is full of blood.
Don't do this to me. Don't ruin my life.
I'm not ruining your life. I'm trying to figure out what happened with this baby.
I would never hurt her.
What you just heard is the moment a babysitter, someone trusted, someone loved by the family, begins to unravel inside a police interrogation room. The little girl at the center of this story is Fallon Lynn Fridley. She was 2 years old. She had a smile nobody could break. She called her mom a sweet head. And on December 9th, 2020, she was dropped off at her babysitter's house in Sandy Springs, Georgia, just 16 miles from Atlanta. And she never came home. Over the next 45 minutes, we are going to walk through the interrogations of Kirsty Flood and her boyfriend, Jeffrey Myers, in full. You're going to hear exactly what they said. You are going to hear exactly how detectives responded. And by the end of this video, you will understand, clearly and completely, how a monster hides in plain sight. Stay with me.
All right, Kirsty. This is my partner, Detective Pearson.
Hello, Mr. Person.
Hello.
And you want to leave it up? I get so stuck being here.
Yeah, I'm already glad. I'm always hot, and I'm already stuck thirsty.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, it's hard because, like, right now we're in the weather where you can get cold.
You can wear a sweatshirt and shorts at the same time.
Yeah, it's so jacked up right now. Sorry, my notes are all jacked up right now because it's been one of those days, unfortunately.
See, you met her mom.
What's that?
You met her mom.
I did, yeah.
How's she doing?
She's obviously upset. I mean, I don't think there's any way to not be right now, not be upset. But she's obsessed. I met
Cameron.
Met him as too. I reserve judgment because that's what I do.
Yeah.
We
can then tell.
Well, ma'am, what I'm so I'm coming in, like when you see me walking in late, that means I have absolutely no idea, or I really don't know what's going on. So can you tell me what happened to catch me up? Because again, that's why I'm not asking any questions, because I don't know exactly what's happening. So I just wanted to hear your side.
You guys didn't talk already?
No, actually,
they came in late. So
I've been so busy at the hospital and doing other things that I haven't even talked to him yet.
Okay, can I ask you one question?
Mm-hmm.
How come they did this so fast?
Did what so fast?
Just let her go.
What do you mean let her go?
They won't let it fight.
She's still at the hospital.
She's okay.
I mean, she's not doing okay, but she's still at the hospital.
She's okay.
Like I said, well, she's not doing good.
But she didn't be okay.
I don't know.
She still have a heartbeat.
Heart still beating.
God.
Heart still beating.
God has a plan then. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God.
So I really appreciate you doing that.
I am all here. Let me go make it easier.
And these are today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So these are...
Wait a minute, that can't be her. That's your baby, right? I'm messing with you.
That's my little stud, Muffin. I love him.
So which one? Okay,
that's
so this
Fallon.
She's a cutie.
And that's my baby Harper.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Yeah, so I have a 3-row seat. So I put their car seats in the back, and then I put my baby boy, face forward in the middle. Because I've been in 2 really bad car wrecks.
Oh, yeah.
So I try and, I just got that sticker on there today. I mean...
Oh, this was today?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That was from today?
I don't know about this picture, but this is definitely today because that was the jacket she was wearing this morning. Sometimes she likes to sleep in my son's crib.
Oh.
So I put that little love, those little BB things.
The boppy or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then I keep her safe, just in case if I'm in the living room or whatever, because she's still little, whatever. But
I'm trying to do this and go back to the one because I'm just curious.
Which one?
The last one that you had shown. I'm sorry.
Look like they're getting along so well, huh?
Oh, with them two?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're best friends. Well, you can go. I mean, really, if you look at if you look at my life is centered around my children. Was then into playing. Like I said, I consider her my child. She's literally, a part of my family. Gosh, she is right there. That's my son and my daughter. So like we really, we really have made it something so special. That's why like I'm like really making sure that she's not. I don't know why he told me that she was gone.
So can you tell me what happened?
I typically watch Fallon 4 days a week, roughly. I've been with my company for 6 years, so I'm getting paid unemployment to stay home. I'm also in school for cybersecurity. I have a newborn, a 3, almost 4-year-old, and Fallon is 2. Like I said, I'm with her 3-4 days a week. Me and her mom, we've been through a lot together. I helped her get sober a long time ago. Quite some time ago, I was reached out to saying that she was homeless and, strung out and, she wouldn't listen to anybody. And I was just like that one person that kind of just like spoke to her, that she listened to, right? So I took her to detox. Fast forward, she went down to Miami, had Fallon in rehab with some scum. He's never raised her, never claimed her, never nothing. So I have a soft spot for Fallon. That's why I charge $125 a week or not, and that's nothing if the price isn't ridiculous.
It's not expensive at all.
No, and I do it because she's a friend, and I do it because I love Fallon. I don't know Cameron very well. Long story short, he drops Fallon off this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she stays. She goes in the room with Harper. She plays with Harper for a decent amount of the day. Her and Harper, my daughter, are like best friends.
Okay.
So they play, and then finally we end up going to the park. This is hours later.
Yep.
So for breakfast she had the cereal bar, lunch, cheese puffs. They had some goldfish, graham cracker, chocolate ones. She was eating fine. She only eats junk food, right? And at my house we incorporate vegetables.
Which says she had for lunch, I'm sorry?
That's all I was out of YouTube.
I'm trying to keep up with you. You said cereal bar for breakfast and
Cereal bar for breakfast, and then she had goldfish, cookie, the chocolate ones. And then she had cheese puffs.
Okay.
And then she had some of her yogurt. I buy her Silk yogurt because she is non-dairy. So she primarily does almond milk and stuff like that. So I buy her specific things that she likes. She is very, very small. I don't know if you ever noticed, but she doesn't really eat much, but when she does, it's typically junk food. So, that's just what it is. But anyway, so she ate that. Okay, so we get in the car. Oregon Falls is what? A mile and a half from my house.
Yeah, barely.
We were the last people there.
right before dark, though?
Yeah,
roughly? Okay.
right when it was getting starting to get dark.
Probably 5:30.
Ish. We started leaving. No, when it started getting dark, it was like what, like. I have on my phone. My phone died when I was out there, but I have. 4:26, how's my girl? So we're about to go to Morgan Falls. My phone is about to die. We just pulled up. She said, tell her mommy misses her. And then here's a picture of my daughter and Colin playing together, besties.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm on the floor. The reason why I'm right here is because I'm on the floor with my infant. I always bring like a little picnic thing, snacks, blanket, the whole nine. And you got 3, you try to monitor it all. So anyways, I put both the babies on the swing, my babies, and the bucket swings. And then she goes down the slide, falls off, and when you go down a slide and you drop, that's what happened. And I was telling him she dropped, but I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. You know what I mean?
Did she cry at all?
When she's such the most quiet baby, and that is alarming in situations like at home. That is what has been an issue for me, but you can't go to a mother and say, hey, the man you just married, I understand his past, but, I'd maybe look into that a little bit better, or maybe not leave him with him all day on Friday. You understand what I'm saying?
Wholeheartedly, yeah.
That first of all, I would never marry a man with a record like that.
Yeah.
Second off, you're never going to be left with my child.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't even let them babysit my children.
No, I wouldn't either.
So anyway, she's always at my home. I feed her, I bathe her, I do everything for her. I try to limit her mom's stressors to the maximum degree.
Notice what's happening here. Kirsty is doing 2 things simultaneously, and she doesn't even seem aware of it. Number 1, she's painting herself as a saint, a savior, the woman who helped Chris get clean, who charges barely anything, who loves Fallon like her own daughter. And number 2, every few minutes, she circles back to Cameron, Fallon's stepfather, a man who, by all accounts from that day, dropped Fallon off at 6 in the morning and went to work. He was not there. He could not have done this. But Kirsty keeps nudging the detectives in his direction, almost like she's laying a trail of breadcrumbs leading away from herself. The detectives, for their part, are playing it beautifully. They let her talk. They ask soft questions, and Kirsty keeps digging.
Was she playing in the house when I got back? Was she okay then?
She was playing for like a second, and then when she wanted to go lay down. So in my daughter's room, she has a TV, she has all this stuff they just love. So that's like the little spot, and then they have a playroom too. She went and laid down, and then just for a minute, and then I was like, Fallon, are you hungry? You want dinner? And she ran. You can ask Jeff. I'm not yelling so you just didn't think. She ran to the kitchen. I'm thinking, oh, baby, she's hungry. She feels good. She's great. She made me need to lay down for a second. Whatever, we're cool. And then doesn't eat. And I'm thinking, okay, that's weird. You know what I mean? You were just so hungry. I'm not giving you candy, I'm not just gonna keep giving you candy. And like, that's like, I think what her parents might do, say, it's just easy, easier way out is candy and chips.
Just to make it easy, just to get the food in them. Yeah, I get it.
And I'm overweight.
It's not great parenting, but hey.
No, I get it too, but I'm overweight and I don't want to do it to my kids. So basically, I'm just trying to like have healthy options at my house.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, she didn't eat. Harper, I ended up giving all the food to my dog. I literally just threw it. She had like 2 bites. I think she had like the veggies and then maybe 1 shell of a noodle.
Barely anything.
And then the rest I just gave to my pet because I ran out of dog food and
It happens.
I couldn't go to the store. I was trying to cook dinner, trying to do all this. Didn't want to leave her. So we sat outside for 5 minutes, whatever, 10 minutes, smoke stay. I don't even know how long it was. Not long at all. Go back in there and check on her, and she's looking like this. And I'm like, what is that about?
Yeah.
Like, so my daughter has a unicorn. I built her like a unicorn. You saw it, the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And she was just like this.
Yeah. You need to get them out of here. I'm gonna go talk with them real quick.
She had the distant look, I guess, that when you called the ambulance?
She had the distant look. I put her in the tub because shell shock. You know what I mean? That cold water.
Yep.
Sometimes can, just do the trick, just real fast. So she was in her diaper and even still in her socks. And because I didn't want to shell shock her too bad. like
Or
butt
you just put her in the
naked.
tub with her socks and diaper?
Like literally like sat her down like this, shone the cold water, held her back like the back of her neck like this,
Uh-huh.
and nothing. Didn't even respond to the water.
So she just lost consciousness?
Yeah.
You're saying that after she had fallen in the, at the park, that
But her
she...
dad just told me he had the flu yesterday. Or on Monday.
Okay.
And she's been sick.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so I say that to say she's been sick because she got my 8-month-old son sick, my daughter sick, all of us sick. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And that was a couple weeks ago, but they said it was a sinus infection. And then on Monday he calls me. I don't watch her on Mondays. Calls me around like, I don't know, 8 in the morning or whatever. He's like, hey, can you watch Fallon? I need to go to the hospital. I feel like I have, or I feel like I'm super sick. And then apparently he had the flu. And then he drops her back off at my house.
I guess, from what I'm understanding, the kid is pretty ill, to this point, but that's what we're trying to find out. I mean, you're saying that she may have taken a little tumble off of a slide, but yet she was still walking, doing things, then went to sleep for a little bit, and then you came and saw her later. And I'm trying to boil up what you're telling me.
She always has,
And she just had like a distant look about her, and then
She
now
went
at what
like
point did it
this.
go from that to oh crap, put her and she's unresponsive in the tub?
have you ever seen a kid do that?
Do what?
This.
I mean, looking to the left or right?
No, like literally like looking at you and then just go like this. And then just stop and not look back.
Okay. So you're saying she looked either left or right, one of the two sides, but just kind of looked up and that was it.
That
no more
freaked
eye
me
contact.
out right there. I was like, okay, that's weird. To me, that just screams like, I don't know. I don't even know. But I know that that's something I'm unfamiliar with. And being a mother, if I'm not familiar with it, just like the CPR thing, that's why we call the ambulance, because I'm not certified and I'm not going to risk someone's life trying to give CPR if I don't know how to do it correctly. which I
And so
mean-
she would never look back. Her eyes stayed glued to the side, to what you're telling me.
No, I mean, eventually, after a couple minutes, it came back.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then we put her in the tub, 2 seconds. Just a quick little,
Were you and your boyfriend?
Yes.
Or- okay.
just a quick little, he was helping me try to do everything in the squat. Put her in the tub for 2 seconds and then, bring her back.
What I'm saying is that's why I'm asking. I wasn't there.
So her tripping and falling would not cause those injuries. Her skull's broken. Her skull is fractured.
I don't even understand.
Did Jeffrey do something?
Absolutely not.
So tell me how this happened.
Neither of us are violent people.
Basically, if you've got the kid, the reason I'm asking, from 6 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
The baby at 6 roughly, almost 24 hours ago, because we're almost working on 2 in the morning. A child with a fractured skull is not going to just make it through the day and then just decide by the end of the afternoon that she's sick.
Because you're saying during the whole day she's doing fine, everything's great, nothing's going on. All of a sudden at dinner time, she starts acting weird.
That's what doesn't make sense to us, because the fractured
Her and
skull
Harper
is-
played in the room all day home. I had that in a text message.
Okay.
And that's
You went to the
exactly
park,
what I
right?
said. Yes, and I watched my son. I also have live footage in my home.
Okay.
Do you have access to that?
I do.
Okay. What's it recorded on?
Wise.
Wise. Okay, I don't know that one.
It's WYZE. The fact that she has all of that is heartbreaking, but the fact that any of that would ever happen under my watch in my life, it would never happen.
Here's what you need to understand about what just happened. Kirsty brought up the camera footage herself. She offered it voluntarily because she believed it would prove she was innocent. And on the surface, yes, the footage showed Fallon running around and eating dinner at around 7:56 p.m. She looked okay. She was moving. She was upright. But that footage did something else far more important. It narrowed the timeline. Whatever was done to Fallon happened after 7:56 p.m. and before the 911 call at 8:59 p.m. 1 hour, one at that apartment. And the only people there were Kirsty Flood, Jeffrey Myers, and 3 children. One of them 8 months old. The footage didn't exonerate her, it trapped her.
Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, okay? She's in bad shape. Like real bad shape.
Like, what do you mean?
Like she might not make it through the night.
What?
Yep. So I'm going to read you some stuff because I have some concerns, okay? These are your Miranda rights. You're not under arrest, but you're here in the police station. I'm going to ask you some pretty hard questions, so I want you to know what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used in court as evidence against you. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have him or her with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you without cost, and he or she may be present at all times during your questioning. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So, what we have here, and why I'm concerned, is do you want to know all the issues that she has?
Yes.
Okay. According to the doctors in the ER,
Yes.
she has a skull fracture.
A what?
A skull fracture. Her brain is swollen and bleeding. She also has internal bleeding, where she has, according to the doctor, let's see here, her belly is full of blood. She's got an injury to her liver, her spleen, and her colon, and is still actively bleeding inside. She has no brain function.
Oh my God, stop.
She's got bruises all over her body.
Stop.
She's got bruises all over her head. The external part of her head is swollen. She has bruises literally all around her head. I can show you pictures.
So that picture you showed me just a few minutes ago, she doesn't look like that right now.
She is bad.
You think it's the blood rushing to her head and all that stuff? You know when you're laying in a...
So when she was dropped off this morning,
Yeah.
how did she look? How did she act? Did you notice anything that was out of the ordinary?
Her dad just told me she had the flu. I mean, he had the flu.
That's it.
That's it.
You didn't see any bruises on her head, on her belly, anywhere.
She had scratches right here.
From a possible dog scratch, right?
She had a scratch right here, and then she had a bruise right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So
And then I think she had...
no bruises up here.
No.
Okay, none of that was there.
I mean, she wears her hair like this.
Okay.
She literally wears her hair like this. I would, if I saw a bruise on her head, I would call her mom immediately.
Okay.
I wouldn't just let a bruise just continue to be a bruise, because that's how you get internal bleeding.
Correct.
That's exactly how that happens.
Okay. And she's bleeding internally because she's got injuries to her spleen, colon, liver. And from what you told me, the only thing that happened to her today was the fall off the slide at Morgan Falls Park, where that ground is soft and squishy and bouncy. Because they made it that way so kids don't technically get hurt when they fall.
Right.
The injuries that this child has, according to the doctor, are acute, which means they have just recently happened.
There was absolutely no way that just happened.
So these injuries this child has are not consistent with what you're telling me happened. The injuries this child has are from some severe abuse or injury.
How long have you had her today? Just as a point of reference?
Oh my, I can't even believe. How exactly? How would that even have happened?
You tell me, because we weren't there. Were you the only one with the child today?
I was around a bunch of people at the park.
No, when did you get
The child,
today?
were you caring for the child by yourself today?
I always care for her by myself, always.
Okay.
Every day. There's never been an issue, ever.
What time today did you get her? Or yesterday now? I
6
guess.
o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you had her all day long?
Yeah.
Okay. Something's happened that we're not being told has happened. Because those injuries just don't appear.
There is absolutely nothing that I would ever do to a child, first and foremost. Second off, if you ever look at my kids, they've never been touched, and they never will be. I don't believe in violence. So the fact that that's an acute thing that just happened,
And you didn't notice any of these injuries on the child beforehand.
I grabbed him the minute I saw him and called the ambulance. Does that add up to you? In your head, does that add up to you?
Lots of crazy things can happen.
If you're concerned about something and the first thing you do is grab somebody and call the ambulance, I don't understand where there would be a confusion about that.
Well, the confusion is the kid has injuries, severe injuries that she might not make it through the night, that we're saying just appeared out of nowhere. How is that not confusing?
No, that is extremely confusing, and the only thing that I could even think of is if she tripped walking with Harper on cement. That's it.
Those injuries
Or minute, right? They're minute. Those are little.
No, the injuries she has are not little.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So her tripping and falling would not cause those injuries. Her skull's broken. Her skull is fractured.
I don't even understand.
Did Jeffrey do something?
Absolutely not.
So tell me how this happened.
Neither of us are violent people.
Basically, if you've got the kid, the reason I'm asking, from 6 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
The baby at 6 roughly, almost 24 hours ago, because we're almost working on 2 in the morning. A child with a fractured skull is not going to just make it through the day and then just decide by the end of the afternoon that she's sick.
What could have happened when you took her off screen?
So you think I took her off screen, went and beat
I don't
her,
know. I need to know. what
broke her
happened, though.
skull,
She's got a fractured skull,
bled her inside,
and she might not make it through the night.
and then brought her back out to feed her? And everybody else was just running around fine? Does that make sense to you?
Crazy things have happened. I know what is going on in this child's body right now. And it doesn't just happen out of it. You're saying that she got to your house, she was fine this morning.
It
All day
was
long, she's
6
fine.
o'clock in the morning, and this is exactly what happened. We don't sleep because we have a newborn.
I understand.
He leaves at 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. He's gone. I lay her down with Harper half the time. They go to bed. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I try and catch some more sleep while I can with Holden. So I was sleeping in with Holden. She was in the room with Harper. They played.
Did Harper tell you anything about the dog doing anything?
I can ask Harper.
But she is making statements like, oh, dog did this all throughout the day.
Harper was in there for so long with her. That's what you don't understand. They were playing all day in there. I even have a text message that said they were playing all day. Now we're about to go to the park.
Yeah.
I said, in her room, they were playing all day. Did I not? Why would I say that? What? Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Don't ruin my life.
I'm not ruining your life.
No, you're on the cusp.
I'm trying to figure out
am
what
a
happened with this
mother.
baby. I understand that.
No,
I'm trying to figure out what happened with this baby.
I did not do anything to that little girl. And you are not about to ruin my life over that.
I'm not doing anyone's life.
I'm in the midst of getting my entire record cleared from 2000, back in the day, 2010.
Okay.
I have busted my ass in life to get to where I'm at right now.
Okay.
And I have helped her mother, and I've been there for her, and I've done all of this, and you're gonna sit here and you're gonna tell me, do you think I hurt this little girl?
I don't know what happened with this little girl. I just know she was with you, and now she's injured to the point where she might not make it.
We were also at a playground. They were also in the room. Do you understand that things happen in little girls that don't cry and don't talk, don't say anything? Do you understand
The massive
that
amount of
bruising-
trauma that this child has sustained internal.
Would mean what?
That she was hurt really bad.
How?
You tell me, I wasn't there.
How would do you see bruises?
On the baby?
Yes.
Yes.
I only saw that and that. Where did you see them? Where are the pictures? All over her head.
You want to see the picture of the baby?
All over her head. No, I don't, because it's gonna make me sad.
Are you sure? Because I can show you. Do you want to see?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those weren't in your photo.
That's blood.
That is not blood. That's a fresh bruise.
Those blood clots. Those are blood clots, and you're not a doctor. Just to let you know. Exactly what she had. Exactly what she had in that picture. And the only thing that she had in that picture.
But what she didn't have in that picture is right there in the middle of her forehead.
Blood.
That's not blood. That's a bruise.
What do you think?
That's a bruise.
Okay,
look at her nose. So let's look at that. Look at her nose. Look at her forehead. All right? That is your picture.
Right.
Right? From today. That's from today.
Right.
I don't see those bruises.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. The blood.
So there's no bruises.
So you're telling me there's no bruise right there?
That one we saw, yeah. But look in the middle of her forehead. Look at her nose. There's nothing there.
You can't see that there's a hair right there.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I'm not making this up.
She fell off a slide at the playground after that.
This is the part where you watch someone drown in their own story. Kirsty cannot explain the photos. She cannot explain the timeline. She cannot explain why a child who she claims was running around and eating dinner at 7:56 is now in a hospital with a fractured skull, a bleeding brain, and lacerations to her liver, spleen, and colon. Instead of grieving, instead of asking how she can help, she is arguing about what a bruise looks like. She is redirecting to the playground, to the dog, to Cameron, to the vinyl floors in her apartment. She offers a different theory every few minutes, and every single one of them leads away from her. That is not how innocent people behave. That is not how someone who loves a child like their own responds when that child is dying.
Just let her go. Where is she going with my stuff?
She came to get the key to lock up the house.
Why?
Because we served a search warrant at your house.
For what?
Because it's a high possibility this child was injured at your home.
And you didn't find anything, did you?
I don't know. I'm not there.
Wow.
But you have to look at it. Well, if you were in my shoes,
I can't even
what would
believe
you
you right
think?
now. You really just flipped the table.
If
That's
you
what
were-
y'all do, don't you?
If you were in my shoes, what would you think?
I'm not under arrest.
Right now you're detained.
I'm not under arrest.
Right now you're detained.
Well, I'm about to call a lawyer then if you're going to play this game.
Okay, you're calling a lawyer?
You're not going to keep me here. I have children I have to go take care of. You understand
Right now
that?
you are detained.
I have children.
I understand that.
What is this?
This is a search warrant.
For what?
We're going to seize your phone.
What?
Yep.
I can't. What?
Yep.
It's a valid search warrant, so I'm
Valid
going to
search.
judge. So we need to take your phone.
So how
Here's
does...
the deal. I just called the doctor, and Fallon is dead. No lie. She's at the morgue right now.
Wow.
She's gone.
Wow.
Her injuries were that bad that they couldn't save her.
Did you just hear that? So they're seizing my phone. So, I guess, how long are you gonna have my phone for?
Probably as long as it takes for us to process it, which could be 24 hours.
Okay, so, and then I come back here and get it?
Yeah.
We'll contact you.
That is the moment. The detective tells Kirsty Flood that Fallon Lynn Fridley is dead, and her response, in that exact moment, is to ask about her phone. Not a scream, not a breakdown, not a single word for Fallon. She asks when she can get her phone back. For context, this is a woman who, for the previous 2 hours, has been telling detectives how much she loved Fallon. How Fallon was like a second daughter to her. How she would cuddle with her in the mornings. How she cried when she thought Fallon might not survive. And the moment she learns the little girl is gone. Her first and only concern is the device that detectives have just taken from her hands. That reaction alone tells you everything you need to know.
So the first time you actually physically saw her was like at 8:30.
I saw her asleep. I saw her napping,
Yeah.
and then she cooked dinner, and then when she made dinner, it was like 8:30, she yelled, "Fallon, come eat." She yelled it a few times. Fallon came right out the room, came and gave me a hug, because that was the first time that I had seen her since I'd been home. Really seen her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was fine. She seemed fine. She gave me a hug, sat down at the table, and we tried to get her to eat, and she wouldn't eat, man. I don't know. Kirsty says she deals with that all the time, though, about her not eating.
Yeah.
So I don't want to know what goes on during the day when I'm not there, but
So she came out of the room, ran out of the room like normal. Everything seemed fine.
I didn't think she was going to even hear her name be called, honestly, because she called it from the kitchen. And you saw what the kitchen is compared to the bedroom.
It's a little bit ways, yeah.
Right, so I didn't think she would hear. She came right out, looked fine, gave me a hug. She made her plate. Both the kids, Harper and Fallon, Holden was already asleep. Sat down at the table. Harper started eating. And
Holden's your son, right?
Yes, sir.
You said he's 8 months.
Yes, sir.
And you said Harper's your daughter?
She's my stepdaughter, pretty much. It's her. She has a baby by now, but it's still.
You're being the dad?
Yeah. Yes, she's 4. We're about to be 4.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, they ate. Harper was eating, and she always likes to brag, saying, "Look, I'm eating all my food. I'm eating all my foods," because we're trying to get her to teach Fallon to do that. And Fallon wouldn't eat. We're like, "Fallon, you don't want to eat. You don't want to eat." We're sitting there, and she's just looking at us. And she does that sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, she's a very quiet child. But this time, like, I'm trying to get her attention, and she's kind of like staring off to the right, like she wouldn't make eye contact with me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was weird, so I'm snapping in her face, and eventually she would make eye contact with me and was coherent, you know, like would understand what I was saying. So we said, are you okay? You okay? And she wouldn't say anything. So she was kind of breathing funny, like, I don't know, like maybe trying to, like she was trying to catch her breath but wasn't out of breath. I don't know, it was weird, man. I've never heard the noise that she was making before, but we laid her down. She was fine. We stayed there for a few minutes to make sure that, you know, she was okay.
Okay.
We laid her down, saw that she was okay, left out, went and smoked a cigarette. We both said, now let's smoke a cigarette. I said, let's go, when we get done smoking the cigarette, let's go check on Fallon. You know, I'm worried about it. We were both worried about it. She said, we both agreed. We got done smoking the cigarette. I don't know how much time elapsed since then, honestly. No more than 10 minutes, probably 10, 15 minutes. Can't be no longer than that. So we went back in there, and she was in the same position that we had laid her in on her side, and but she wasn't making any the noise that we had heard from her before. She wasn't doing anything. So I checked her pulse. She grabbed her. She sat her up. We tried to, you know, wake her up. She wouldn't wake up. I checked her pulse. She had a pulse. Tried to get her mouth to mouth, because I could tell that it was like she had shallow. It was really, I could barely feel it. You know what I mean? So we're getting her mouth to mouth. We don't know how to get mouth to mouth. We should have taken that class, and we said we were going to take that class too before Holden was born about the CPR, but we didn't know what we were doing, man. So we put her in the bathtub, trying to shock her into waking up. You know, in that situation, I don't know how to handle anything, man. I've never been in a situation like that.
I get it, man. It's scary. It's scary as hell.
And it's not even my kid, you know what I mean? So
I get it. The first time I had to do CPR on a kid, it wasn't my kid. Man, it jacked me up. She is dead. And this time, I'm not bullshitting. She's down at the morgue right now.
Is that
It looks like it.
Sir, I'm not just trying to stick up for my fiance because it's my girl and my baby and my mother or anything like that. This girl does not lay her hands on these children. I can tell you that. I promise you that. I've been a witness to this, to her being a mother to her daughter since she was 1, and I've not seen her spank her, not one time. So with these injuries, I don't know what happened with Fallon. We love Fallon like she's our own little girl. Like, I could show you pictures where we spend time with her like she's our own kid. So this is completely baffling to me. I don't know where that would come from or how or anything like that.
You say you never saw Kirsty ever smack, hit, anything to a kid?
No, sir.
None of your children never saw her at foul?
Well, Holden's only 8 months old, so but Harper, like I said, sir, that's not my kid. So I don't discipline him, I don't do anything like that. I let her handle it because I feel like that's right.
Fair enough, I'd probably do the same thing.
She grounds her, she takes away things. She may yell at her, she may curse at her, but I've never seen her lay her hands on her, not one time.
Jeffrey Myers was later arrested. He was indicted on charges of false statements, tampering with evidence, cruelty to children in the 2nd degree, and murder in the 2nd degree. The charge of murder in the 2nd degree isn't because he was the one who hurt Fallon. It's because he knew. He was there. He saw the signs. He heard Fallon struggling to breathe at that dinner table. He went outside and smoked a cigarette. He helped put an unresponsive 2-year-old in a cold bathtub. And when the detectives asked him directly, he defended Kirsty. He covered for her. He sat in that interrogation room and told those officers that the woman who killed Fallon Lynn Fridley didn't have a violent bone in her body. That is what complicity looks like. That is what silence costs.
Is she pretty picky eater? She clearly only ate candy and just So at my house, we eat real food.
Yeah.
You know? We try and incorporate all the, the grain, the veggie, the meat, the pricing, all that. We try to do all that.
Yeah.
And apparently the sergeant said she had like a carrot lodged down her throat. or I mean in her esophagus or something. I don't know if it's because she just really didn't want to eat it. I don't know. But the fact that like all of that accumulated, that's impossible to accumulate that fast. I'm sorry, but it is.
What do you mean?
All of this stuff that detective said happened, you know, with her. He said that she has like a brain something, laceration of the spleen. Yeah. Also, the people, this is too loose, on the recording line, I am not CPR certified, but they made me give her CPR for about 8 minutes straight like this. 2 inches deep. She's flat on her back. She's 2.
Yeah.
You don't do that with a 2-year-old. And I didn't think about that till later. Okay. You're supposed to flip them over and you're supposed to hit them around the back. There's a reason for it. They're too little right there.
I think for a dog to fracture her skull, I think that's...
No, when you say acute, you know what I mean? If I could give you an answer right now that would just solve the problem, I would, but I don't have an answer for you. The only 2 things I could think of is falling on cement,
Which we didn't see happen.
which we didn't see happen. Grace, my pet,
Which we didn't see happen.
which we didn't see happen
Did
either.
you hear her cry out at all today?
I mean, I'll hear, Fallon is the most quiet thing you'll ever, ask her mom. That kid doesn't cry.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not even my kid, you would hear from miles away if someone's brushing her hair.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a big difference.
Gotcha. Kirsty.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How are you?
My odd son. There you go.
Listen, I'm Detective Mike Burson. I'm kind of assisting in this whole case.
I thought I was just here to keep our phone.
You are, and I ran down there, and they just about got your phone. You didn't have a property receipt, so it's kind of hard to find it. When you have a property receipt, they can pull it that quick. So it's just going to take a couple minutes, okay?
I'm so exhausted.
I know.
Mentally. You don't understand. My heart hurts so bad. Go ahead.
I understand. I really do, and I want to make this as fast as I can, okay? All right? Okay. All right. Listen, just if we're gonna
I have a
talk for.
lawyer. Do you need to talk to him? I'm not supposed to talk to anybody.
So you're not going to talk to me?
I mean, it just depends what we're gonna talk about. I just spent a lot of money on a lawyer for a reason.
Okay, so you have a lawyer.
The lady made me feel like I was somebody I am not, and I'm not gonna be made to feel that way ever again. So my lawyer, that's why I got a lawyer, the way he treated me last night.
Okay, so what you're telling me, you retained a lawyer,
I
correct?
did. I'll give you his phone number.
Okay, no, that's okay. Okay, then I can't talk to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's
He
fair.
has all the live footage and everything too.
No, I saw the live footage, but no, if you have a lawyer,
You saw it was great, right?
yeah,
Thank you.
but I can't talk to you anymore now since you got a lawyer,
But I'm
okay?
just saying, sir, please, take into consideration how much I love this baby.
Believe me, from what I saw, I fully understand,
Please,
Kirsty, I really do. Okay, all right. Sit tight, we'll get you out of here, okay? All right. All right, Kirsty, just swing over here this way. Just move your legs out this way,
Why?
because I gotta put this on you. Okay?
Why?
Because
I have not. No. You're not about to jam me up right now without. No. I never gave you any information about my lawyer. So you can't detain me.
Yeah, we can. You're under arrest.
For what?
You're under arrest.
For what? For what? For what?
Bring it in.
Show you the ones that
Under arrest.
you're under arrest.
For what?
I show you the ones in once we get you secured.
I need my phone and my lawyer. Right now.
You'll have that opportunity.
Right now. That's why I came here, was for my phone.
They did.
Y'all actually just entrapped me, is what you just did.
That's actually not called a trap.
That is entrapment, because Officer Myers just said I would not be getting locked up the minute I walk in here to get my phone. That's entrapment. I know my laws.
Well, you obviously don't know what entrapment is.
That's entrapment. He literally just said he would not be locking me up. That's what he just
That
said.
is not the
And my children are at home.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're with defects with your mom. They're not
Yeah.
with you.
Excuse me, you're not about to pull my leg like that. You need to chill. Okay?
When investigators searched Kirsty Flood's phone, they found something that stopped everyone in the room. At approximately 10 in the morning on December 9th, 2020, the same day Fallon was in her care, Kirsty Flood had searched 2 phrases on her device. The first, what type of people enjoy abusing other people's children? The second, what does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours? Those searches were made hours before she asked Chris if Fallon could stay the night. Hours before the 9/11 call. Hours before a 2-year-old girl was carried into a hospital with a fractured skull and a belly full of blood. She knew. On some level, she knew what was happening inside her, and she did nothing to stop it.
Don't do this to me. Don't ruin my life.
I'm not ruining your life.
No, you're on the cusp.
I'm trying to figure out
am
what
a
happened with this
mother.
baby. I understand that.
No,
I'm trying to figure out what happened with this baby.
I did not do anything to that little girl.
I just know she was with you, and now she's injured to the point where she might not make it.
We were also at a playground. They were also in the room. Do you understand that things happen in little girls that don't cry and don't talk, don't say anything? Do you understand
The massive
that
amount of
bruising-
trauma that this child has sustained internal.
Would mean what?
That she was hurt really bad.
How?
You tell me, I wasn't there.
How would do you see bruises?
On the baby?
Yes. I only saw that and that.
On March 18th, 2024, Kirsty Flood changed her plea to guilty and was sentenced to life without parole. Jeffrey Myers accepted a guilty plea deal to murder in the 2nd degree. He was sentenced to 15 years. Kirsty's mother, Karen Flood, was also indicted for attempting to manipulate 3-year-old Harper, Kirsty's own daughter, to prevent her from speaking to police. Harper was eventually placed in the custody of her biological father, Avery, after a community fundraiser raised over $166,000 to cover the legal costs. Chris Fridley continues to advocate for Fallon every day. She has since welcomed a son and then a daughter, whose due date was December 9th, 2024, the exact day Fallon was attacked.